we just finished our very first investigation at the Devil's Tramping Ground. The legend here is that, Indians were known to live here, but they say that the place where the tramping ground is was just where,
They used to basically they would salt their meats there, and there was so much salt that's actually in the ground that nothing will grow there just because it's so saturated in salt. That was one of the explanations for why basically nothing will grow in the center, or in that 40-foot radius of the circle. The way it is.
Another part of the legend is that the devil will come up and tramp around in a circle, and that's why nothing will grow within the circle, and that there was Boy Scouts camping.
Yeah, the whole reasoning behind the legend, I guess, started as there was some Boy Scouts camping out by where the circle was, and according to the legend, according to the story, one of the kids actually ended up walking into the campfire and I guess getting burned, and they were saying it was something to do with the devil or something of the sort, something like that.
Anyways, we came here at bedtime, or the witching hour, 3 o'clock a.m., hoping to see some activity. Walked through the woods a little bit. Got a little bit of an uncomfortable feeling the deeper we got in, but we could also blame that on the fact that this is a very unknown area to us, and it's the middle of the night in the woods, and there could be animals and rattlesnakes and all that fun stuff. But we stayed almost a full hour, and mostly just heard a couple snaps of twigs and everything, thinking it's just animals. But there were stones stacked in the middle of the circle that we're guessing a couple of kids stacked there, because another part of the legend is that if you put stones or leave something in the middle of the circle the next day, it'll be moved outside of the circle. So we had a little fun since there was not really any activity, and we, being dicks, moved the stones outside of the circle.
The exact same order they were stacked.
But other than a little bit of graffiti, there was a 666 spray painted on one of the trees.
Just teenagers being teenagers.
To add on to the audio that you guys just heard, in future investigations, we plan on doing sort of a briefing to kind of tell you guys what's going on, where we're going, some of the history behind the place that we've researched. And then, we definitely want to next time take pictures in future investigations and even video, and we'll do those both with a camera I have. It doesn't have night vision on it, so we won't be able to see too much in the dark, but, if we get anything with it, great. If we don't, oh well, we got to make do with what we can, and we're going to try and save up and get more equipment in the future. And another thing we want to do is we want to try and get to the destination a little bit early and spend a little bit more time there if we can, actually scoping out the area, maybe even talking to some locals, see what they have to say since they live in the area, and, get some feedback from them on whether they believe it's real, whether any of them have sightings, a story they've heard. Because usually the locals have different stories than what you would get from the normal legends just because they've lived in the area for so long. The reason why we didn't do any of that other stuff during this investigation is because it was pretty much a last-minute thing, the day of, let's go, let's do this. We really, because of that, didn't have a lot to really give you guys after we were done other than that little audio piece. And we discussed it in the car ride back that we definitely want to give you guys a lot more to work with, pictures, video, and so on and so forth. There was actually a little bit more audio on the end of that audio clip that you guys heard, but for some reason it got lost when it was sent to me. Hopefully next time that won't happen. But the only thing that you guys missed out of that audio was basically Courtney and myself talking about how the sounds that we did hear in the woods, sounds of like little twig snapping, leaves brushing in the wind. Twig snapping, we concluded that it had to have been animals, just because there was nothing we could see and you're out in the middle of the woods, so there's no telling what's kind of lurking out there in the woods. All in all, even though we didn't find anything on the actual investigation, we did have a lot of fun. Got my car stuck in some mud and had to be towed out. That was a pretty eventful night, even though the investigation didn't turn up anything. We had a lot of fun, and we do plan on doing a lot more investigations when we have time. This next investigation that we are talking about doing, we want to do at Fort Fisher. We haven't decided on a date yet, but when we do, I've got to get in contact with the keeper of the grounds or someone in charge, I guess, to find out if we can be on the grounds at night, because after, I think, 5 p.m. it's trespassing. But I hope you guys enjoyed what we had to bring you, even though it wasn't much. I apologize again. Next time we hopefully will have a lot more for you guys to look at, view over and stuff like this. And that's about it. Thank you, everybody, for listening. There wasn't really much to watch. And hopefully we'll see you again soon. Thanks, guys.